Bassist Jerry Only and his brother, guitarist Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein, reformed the Misfits back in mid 1995 after finalizing a legal settlement with Glen Danzig over the rights to perform as Misfits. Drummer Dr. Chud was added to the group, making them a power trio, but at the time, Jerry Only didn't want to front the band and wanted an established lead singer. He asked Glen Danzig, who immediately declined. Around this time, David Vanian was going through a messy divorce and needed money. He was also recording the album with his band, The Damned, I'm Alright Jack and the Beanstalk, for Toshiba Records. But he had a falling out with drummer and manager Rat Scabies over songwriting credits and the future of the band. Scabies wanted to start touring again after the album was released so they could play in larger venues instead of small clubs and perhaps make a lot of money in future sales through album and new merchandise purchases. But the cash-strapped Vanian wanted to tour immediately, which led to the two breaking up the band after a final show on July 27, 1995. Jerry Only, looking for a lead singer, thought that Dave Vanian would be perfect for the spot because he'd be perfect for the band. He's got this whole vampire thing going, and according to Only, he got in touch with him, and Vanian seemed interested. At this time, he was playing with his band, the Phantom Chords, around the UK, trying to pick up some extra cash. A few months later, in an interview with Maxim Rock and Roll, Jerry Only talked again about Dave Vanian joining the Misfits, saying, "We're in contact with Dave Vanian from The Damned right now, who may wind up being our singer. So we're trying to put together this main front and get our music back in line. He kind of fits everything we're looking for. Me and Doyle, we got a drummer named Dr. Chud. He's from Lodi, New Jersey. He's an old stand-in. We're going to see how Dr. Chud meshes once Vanian joins the band, and if we're going to need a different drummer, we'll consider. But up until now, we're going with that lineup. We're looking to play for Halloween. We're going to bring Dave Vanian right in after we shoot these pilots. If everything looks good, we're going to try and play the Limelight in New York for Halloween." He also stated the big thing about the Misfits coming back, especially if we got Dave, who's got this vampire thing going on, which is our thing. It's going to be a tour where we do a big city on the weekend and promote all week long going into it. But in the end, Dave Vanian never accepted the spot as the frontman for the Misfits. According to Jerry Only, he said Dave told us that he thought that it was too much work for him to carry on. But I think he had other personal reasons. Rumors began to spread about why David Vanian didn't want to join the Misfits. One of them was that he wasn't interested in their intense weightlifting regimen and not being paid up front for their fall-winter tour of 1995, and having to live in New Jersey. Another reason floating around was the sound that the new Misfits were playing. They were going for a more heavy metal flavor instead of their old stripped-down rock and roll sound that David Vanian was used to. In an interview conducted by John Nicolau for Scene, Jerry Only laments about being unable to convince David Vanian to join the Misfits. "We weren't trying to go out and get a Glenn look-alike. You know what I'm saying. We felt if we brought David Vanian in, he had his own image, his own sound, and there would be no comparison between him and Glenn." Only later put an ad in the Village Voice looking for a lead singer. Peter Steele, the frontman of Typo Negative, was briefly considered as a potential candidate due to his similar singing style to Glen Danzig, before settling on 20-year-old Michael Graves. When asked why they chose Graves, Only said, "Because he showed up and Dave didn't." David Vanian would continue to tour with the Phantom Chords before reforming the Damned in 1996 when he decided to join Captain Sensible's Punk Floyd and became their lead singer.